this thing on. So yeah, no one cares about video game manuals anymore. Sad but true. And by the way, I'm still working on those Fighting Vipers 2 moveless. I got a lot of characters recorded already. It's just a matter of me. Feeling like editing them. So yeah, I wanted to do something a little different. Basically, just go through all the manuals of all the Virtua Fighter games. Well, at least for the mainline ones. But no VF Kids and all that. But yeah, like I didn't grow up with VF per se, but I still grew up with like video game manuals from like the PS2 era, mainly. So in a way, it's kind of making me nostalgic already. And right off the bat, we just oh yeah, and another thing to note, I'm gonna be like going over all the English translated manuals. And right off the bat, we have VF Remix. I looked at the original Saturn release, and they pretty much look the same anyway. And right off the bat, we have art of the Marvel comic book adaptation. I think it was just I forget how many issues, but I think it might have been like 2 issues, because I read like this on a PDF when I was just downloading these things. And it's definitely a 90s comic. I mean, it could look it could be a lot worse, I guess. But it's definitely a 90s video game comic look, I guess. Yeah, for those that don't know, the Japanese version has the of Remix. It has the art of like the wonderful Katsuya Terada, who's done a lot of VF work throughout the 90s. So yeah, just gonna read some game stuff and some character backstories, cause why not? Right off the bat, it's warning us about epilepsy. You know, yeah, they're considerate. Oh boy. Right off the bat, I like how they have like the Terada art here anyway, instead of like putting it on the cover like the Japanese version. Sorry. Didn't mean to say virgin. 8 fighters, 8 techniques.
In ancient China, a powerful kung fu technique known as Hakyokuken, the 8-point fist, was developed by the Imperial Guard.
For those that don't know, Hakyokuken is like the direct Japanese translation of the Chinese kung fu style Baji Chuan. But yeah, they're gonna keep calling this throughout the entire series.
This technique won great admiration and many followers. Around the time of the Second World War, the Japanese army developed their own Hyakuken techniques in order to create the ultimate fighting force.
But yeah, I definitely know that like in terms of pop culture, thanks to the manga Kenji, it got pretty popular, the style of Baji Chuan, throughout like Japanese media. And like you still see it in you'll still see traces of inspiration throughout like a lot of old fighting games, especially. Obviously, Akira's pretty much the main poster boy in terms of Kenji's impact on Japanese media, especially video games. After rereading it not too long ago, I just realized that Akira Kazuma basically has the exact same name as like the rival school's character. It's like they're like both like biker chicks, but Akira in the manga is not a fighter. I can't believe I didn't realize this the first time reading it. I feel so fucking stupid. Now, the only active master of Hakyokuken, a young man named Akira Yuki, sets off to travel the world in search of enlightenment and worthy opponents. He finds them in a world fighting tournament where the strongest fighters have gathered to determine who stands supreme in the art of hand-to-hand combat. Any and all techniques are allowed, as long as the contestants use no weapons but their own bodies. After weeks of intense dueling, 7 other warriors remain. Sarah Bryan and her brother Jackie, both skilled in Seikido. Lao Chen and his daughter, Pai, and their special variations of Kung Fu. Jeffrey McWild, master of the violent Greek fighting style known as Pancratium, or Pancration depending on who you ask. The ruthless professional wrestler Wolf Hawkfield, and the ninja Kagemaru and his mysterious Hagakure techniques. All 8 of these fighters have arrived to test their methods and their might against each other. Who will stand victorious? Haha. Starting up, set your second Saturn as described in the instruction manual. Plug in player 1. For 2 players, plug in player 2. Control pad 2, sorry. Your Sega Saturn CD contains a security code that allows the disc to be read. Be sure to keep the disc clean and handle it carefully. If your Sega Saturn system has trouble reading the disc, remove the disc and wipe it carefully. Starting from the center of the disc, wiping straight out toward the edge. Yeah, it's putting out all the buttons and 6 button controller. That's pretty cool. Yeah, like the default buttons you start off with, because you can customize your controls to some extent. Fuck does that mean? It was like the button combinations, like PK, like K plus G on all the 3 buttons, I guess. Ranking, arcade mode, the quintessential fighting game content, I guess, at the time. Your options menu, telling you what you can customize, I guess. I don't know why this make me. Hey, yeah, your shit's customizable. Yeah, like I said before. Yeah, fucking Jeffrey. Character select screen. Oh yeah. With this one, you have like all the art of all the Terada art. Yeah, they use these portraits in VF2 actually, just like really pixelized versions of them. Yeah, it's the arena. Yeah, this really brings me back. Yeah, because they also, I'm not sure they did this with shooters. I never really played any shooters as a kid. But for platformers, definitely. Continue. And the basics. Oh, the basics. Sega Gameplay Hotline. 1-415-591 play. For French instruction, I don't give a fuck about the French. I can imagine manuals were pretty important for fighting games, especially at the time. Yeah, like nowadays we have like, actually even like starting at like the PS1 era. I want to say starting from the PS1 era, we were starting to get more move lists within like the game itself through like the pause menu or whatever. And some games had like in-game training modes, or like moveset trials, as I like to call them. But not all games had them. Not all games had them. Why they gotta put A, B, C as a notation? Like, can it be like G or D, P, and K? I'm pretty sure that's what they call in like the. Yeah, they even called that within the game itself. It looks just fucking framed. Jesus Christ! Why at this frame? Hell yeah! Yeah, the mid kick, one of the universal VF buttons. Yeah, not too different from like how VF does it nowadays. Just bring up to your feet, up.
Yeah, this is way before tech recoveries. I'm pretty sure Tekken 3 was like the first game to introduce them in. I think in Tekken 3 you can only tech recovery if you're like on your back or something. Oh yeah, the Virtua Fighters. This is what we're here for. Yeah, Kiryuki, Japanese, born in 1968. Yeah, I think by VF4 they stopped having like ages, or like, not ages, birth dates, or like the year of the birth. 5'9" pounds low, I'm just like a Kiryuki. Now 167 pounds. I guess that's a similar weight to me, I guess. Occupation, Kung Fu instructor. Yeah, Akira's a teacher. You wouldn't really know that from looking at this here. He looks just as homeless as the 2D fighting game protagonist Ryu. Hobby, Kung Fu, yeah, no shit. A specialty, punches and hand blows. Yeah, Akira did not have a lot of kick moves back in VF1. But yeah, fucking Torador is fucking terrific, Jesus. Akira is an especially difficult character to use. Most of the high-powered moves require a combination of several button presses, while he is standing with his grabbing rage of his opponent. However, his Muko Kohazan and Renkan Tai are formidable distance attacks. I think it's talking about his palm, one of his single palm strikes, and his crouching palm strike. Learn some of his flasher moves such as the Toshin Sotai and Yushin Senrin. The animations alone are worth the effort.
This is so 90s Sega, it hurts. I'm gonna hazard a guess, this is not what the Japanese version of the bio sounds like. The animations alone are so worth it.
Yeah, look at his fucking face. Oh yeah, I forgot there are small jumps in these games. In these old 3D games. Yeah, these are the moon jump moves. The back turn attacks, stomp attacks. Yeah, your special moves. Yeah, these are the special moves. Yeah, what a special move! Like, he just punches twice. Oh yeah, these are the flash moves, double kicks. The elbow. Oh yeah, this is a grab. Yeah,
VF1 and 2 were weird because like VF1 especially because there was no standardized like grab input. It almost like acts like it's operating on like old Street Fighter 2 logic, but there's no heavy button. There's like no strength of buttons here, so I guess they had to make do
with what they had. This 3-button thing. Quoting, I forget if it was a Yu Suzuki interview, but they didn't plan on having like just 3 buttons. They were like they wanted to have like more than 3 buttons, but they figured like 3 buttons was easier and easier to get into for like I guess a beginner, I guess. Yeah, this here is pretty much our Chun-Li stand-in. And, it was a style at the time. You gotta have your own Ryu, your own Chinese martial arts lady, I guess. So yeah, Pai Chan. She's from Hong Kong, born in 1975. I'm guessing they're operating like the game where the game was released is where the story resides. This is supposed to be 1993, and I think Pai Chan will be like 18 at this time. And I think Akira will be like 23 or something like that. And she's like 5'5", 108 pounds. She's a lightweight. Occupation, action film star. Which you don't really see too many traces of that. You only really see it in like basically any other media that's not in the games themselves, really. Hobby, dancing technique. I guess her fighting style, Enseiken. As far as I know, it's not a real It's not a real Chinese martial art, but it is based off a real one. I forget which one. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm no kung fu expert per se, but still a specialty. Intercept fighting style. I have no idea what this supposed to mean. What like it interrupts. I guess it interrupts her opponents a lot, but like that's what fighting is about, really. Unlike her father, Pai has learned that the best defense is a strong offense. She can grab her attacking opponents and throw them on the ground, and her stomp attack has a fairly high success rate. And I guess that's kind of true. I fucking I especially fucking hate this in like VF5 Revo and VF4 as well. Probably all the games, maybe. Yeah, I guess that's legacy for you. As a handicapper, try playing without her rapid punch moves and concentrate on throws instead. Hey!
Jesus Christ, fucking sick of America's writing.
I like how the manual just tries to tell you, hey, if you want a handicap, don't use her good punch moves and focus exclusively on throws in a VF game. Not for this. Lao Chan, Chinese. I guess he's not in Hong Kong. I guess mainland China. Born in 1940. Yeah, he should be. Yeah, he should probably be dead. But slightly taller than his daughter. 160 pounds. Occupation: a cook. Hobby is poetry. Man's gotta read. His technique: Koen Ken. Yeah, this is another one that's not really a real martial art, but it is based off of a style. I think it's called Eagle Claw. And you'll look at Lao Chen here. Yeah, you can say he looks like Mercenary Tao, but he's more based off like, I guess you can call it a trope of like kung fu movies. And there's usually like a guy with a ponytail and a big mustache. You know, it's basically the same character as Tao and Mao here. Specialty: punches and open hand blows. Yeah, I guess that's true. Although generally considered the cheapest character, Jesus. Right off the bat, yeah, here's the cheapest character in the whole fucking game. Lao has an amazing arsenal of moves. Like his daughter Pai, he is one of the game's fastest characters, and his throws do a great deal of damage. Use his Renkan Tenshin Kyaku to surprise the unwitting. Height. Jesus Christ, what the fuck is with this? I love this already. Yeah, I'm guessing that's supposed to be like his spin kick. One of his spin kicks. Jeez, he looks so weird with these textures. God damn, yeah, the art. God damn. Hell yeah. And it's Gannon himself, the full name, Wolf Hawkfield, Canadian, born in 1966, February 8th, 5'11", all my, 220 pounds, occupation, pro wrestler, what gave you that idea? Hobby, karaoke, what the fuck, I die when yeah, this is news to me. I would not know his hobby was karaoke of all things. Fighting style, pro wrestling. I wonder what it could get. Specialty: charges and body throws rather. A human juggernaut, Wolf is a power player's character. True to his wrestling background, Wolf moves with a slow but relenting brutality. Uses rushing moves, the axe lariat and the shoulder rush. With caution, if your opponent blocks low, you could go flying off the edge of the ring. Fuck. Wolf's giant swing. Though difficult to pull off, it's a joy to behold. Use it while standing near but facing away from the edge of the ring to give your opponent the bum rush. The bums rush, rather. Oops. Yeah, it's nice that they tell you how to put these moves into application. Like they just straight up said that allows a cheap character. So I guess that's pretty helpful. Jeffrey McLeod, almost the fucking voice, Australian, born in
1957. Jesus Christ. Yeah, he's got to be old. Almost a decade younger than Lao Chan.
Straight up 6 feet tall. 244 pounds. Way heavier than Wolf. Fisherman by occupation. Yeah. He looks like he's wearing karate pants. Yeah, he is based off a Kyokushin. He's based off a Kyokushin karate fighter, but that's not his style. I don't think we have a single karate practitioner here at all. But yeah, hobby, reggae music, and technique, pancratium. Yeah, this is pretty much all about the fighting styles. You are a virtual fighter after all. Trying to sort of keep it true to its name. Specialty, body blows. What Jeffrey lacks in speed, he makes up for in power, with single moves that take off a quarter or more of his opponent's health. This gargantuan warrior could also be nicknamed the Punisher. I never knew this. I never knew Jeffrey had a moniker. As he is forgiving of his opponent's mistakes. As he is unforgiving of his opponent's mistakes. Oops. Jeffrey is also a proud possessor of a number of deceptive combos, made all the more surprising for his unseeming slowness. An arcade favorite.
Damn, even back then Jeffrey was a favorite.
Wait a fucking minute. Okay, I'm tripping because there was this glitch in VF1 that Wolf can straight up do the Splash Mountain, and I think I showed it off in my Akira One Frame Knee video. Also, thanks y'all for watching that. Basically, what's supposed to be a joke video, but I guess people liked it well beyond my subscriber base. So yeah,
y'all are awesome for sharing that around. Gotta spread the word of useless video game knowledge.
Oh yeah, I didn't realize here that they put an alternate way of pressing the inputs. Yeah, because in VF proper, you don't really have to do all the diagonals. Just the cardinal movements. Oh yeah, here he is. This absolute cornball looking Kagemura, Japanese, born in 1971. He's probably in his early 20s, I guess. 5'8". Occupation ninja. I wonder what gave that idea away. Hobby mahjong. I don't know. Is the thing on top of his helmet ninja headband supposed to be like a mahjong tile? Clue me in, old heads. Is this supposed to be?
But yeah, he's loosely based off of jiu-jitsu. I guess he's sort of like what he is to jiu-jitsu is what Paul is to judo, I guess.
Kage is probably the most agile of all the fighters, and is a terror to watch when played well. His roll kicks combine defense with a surprising offense, while his somersault attacks make him a threat from halfway across the street. Across the ring. Be careful though, as abusing his Reru Hishokyaku move could leave you high and dry outside the ring. Oh yeah. Although his stop attack frequently becomes too late to do any damage, it does allow him to get behind opponents for a debilitating Horogatsumi throw. Yeah, it's a donut spring move. That's a low, and it's always been a low. Here's our big lady, our Stella Blade. May or may not be based off of Cynthia Rock or other martial arts blonde ladies of the era. Yeah, goddamn those muscles. Sarah Bryant, American, born in 1973. I think she would be like 20 or 19, I forget. Yeah, 20. 5'6", 119 pounds, lightweight, college student. Hobby is skydiving. Techniques, Sekendo. I guess that's what Jeet Kune Do. Specialty: elbow and knee strikes, barrage attacks. I guess that just means strings. Although less powerful than her brother, oh wow, Sarah is Jackie's equal in agility and speed, and is almost as quick to the stomp attack. Her knee attacks are formidable, but leave her vulnerable when missed. Use her double step knee to sucker in opponents who like to move in on missed attacks. Yeah, what the fuck? Yahoo!
I guess she had her double knees in this game.
Yeah, as you can tell, I'm not exactly a VF1 head. I don't think most VF players are. And there's the man himself, Jackie Bryant. God damn, he looks really fucking buff here. Jackie Bryant, American, 1970. I guess he'd be like 23, 5'9". Just like Jackie. Apparently way heavier than him. It's like 58 pounds. Occupation: Indy car racer. Yeah, this is kind of a thing. I guess it's kind of a consistent. Like VF4 is where he straight up wears like a racing suit, and I think it's pretty much his main
racing suit in 5. He's also playable in the first Sonic All-Stars Racing with along with Akira, and their special move is Akira does his Tetsu Zanko to speed up the cars. Spin kicks and drop attacks. Jackie is perhaps the best all-round character, with high rankings in speed, agility, and power, plus a wide array of vicious combos. He also possesses some of the most brutal recovery moves, which will make his opponents think twice before sweeping or standing behind him. His stomp attack is almost impossible to avoid, another arcade favorite. Yeah, another pretty string-heavy character. Yeah! Oh, credits. I didn't even know. Oh, I guess I should expect credits, but yeah. Thank you, Eric Rollins. This is a pretty good guide. This is a pretty good manual. Thank you, Wendy, Dinsmore, and Eric Rollins. Yeah, everyone, thank Eric Rollins. Virtua Fighter produced by AM2. Arcade Power. Oh yeah, and I guess I guess everyone who knows VF knows about this, but to those who don't know, the guy that sings the Daytona song, he voiced both Akira and Kage in VF1, I believe, but he would voice Kage in every other game in the series. So yeah, and here's your fun fact. Your other useless, not useless. Oh, he's a cool dude. So yeah, that was VF1. Goddamn. So yeah, on to VF2. Here it is. Here's the big one. As far as VF as a franchise, weird. It's gonna be weird covering like the lore or whatever around VF. Is that it's a game with probably the most adaptations. Like there's an anime adaptation. There's quite a few manga of VF2 specifically. There's one from one artist which is looks way closer to the anime. It's more like silly and like the earlier episodes of the anime. And there's also and most interesting of all, there's the manga drawn by the same guy who created Kenji, which serves as a major inspiration to VF, especially when it comes to representing the martial art of Baji Chuan into the fighting game space. And I don't think either are translated. You know, it looks pretty cool, and I'm pretty sure both manga and the anime have a gag of Akira copying a feel, I guess. So that's a weird commonality between all those adaptations. I guess Sega really wanted to make this shit canon, I guess. And there's also the Virtua Fighter 2 10 Stories, which is, it's not really it's basically like a manga series by the GOAT Katsuya Terada. He basically made an anthology series where there's not too much dialogue, if any at all, but it basically starts like the VF2 cast, basically living their lives like Akira training and fighting against a bear and riding a train. I love this page so much. There's also like and Jackie getting into a car crash, but he looks no worse for wear. He's cool. I believe Terada designed all the VF2 characters. They even have his art in the game and such. Very interesting case study for VF as a franchise from back in the day. And look at Akira here trying to give you a high five. Come on, give Akira a high five.
Yeah, we know this shit already. What? 1-900-200 Sega. Learn Sega game secrets from the masters. Call now.
The battle continues. 1 year has passed since the 8 of the world's strongest, toughest, fastest fighters challenged each other in a world fighting tournament. Lao Chan has won the championship. I don't know if it's a fair victory, because he is the cheapest fighter in the roster after all. But all the fighters gained something. Each of the fighters' limits and shortcomings have become crystal clear. Some made new friendships, others developed intense rivalries. All gained valuable fighting experience before they left the arena and went their separate ways. Now 1 year later, the call has come again. 10 cordial invitations to the second Fighting World Tournament. Oops. Anonymously, no RSVPs are requested, as if anyone would be foolish enough to back out. Could the sinister Judgment 6 cartel be behind all this? Whatever new and formidable moves and techniques these accomplished fighters may possess, they all share one thing: the suspicion that this time, the stakes will be higher than ever. Yeah, this is the introduction to the Judgment 6 thingy on the background of these VF games, but you never really see much of a representation other than maybe Dural. They could be behind the Dural thingies. After a year of hard training, Akira Yuki is back to try out his new moves and to fight the decisive battle against the newfound rival Wolf Hawkfield. This is actually Akira and Wolf are basically friendly rivals. The anime especially made this pretty prevalent, but you don't really see it a lot in the actual games themselves. But yeah, just take their word for it. Akira and Wolf are friends. Hong Kong film star Pai Chan returns for another chance to defeat her father, Lao Chan, who has returned to defend his title. Pancratium master Jeffrey McWild fights to preserve his livelihood. The ninja Kagemaru returns, in both official and family business, as he seeks to cover and discover the secrets of the mysterious syndicate that pulls the strings of the World Fighting Tournament. Jackie Bryant has come to rescue his sister, Sarah, who ironically has been brainwashed and carefully trained to eliminate him. Master of drunken style Kung Fu Shundi arrives to try out his skills against the hottest young fighters of the world. The fuck? Hottest young fighters? What's that supposed to mean? While Turukin expert Leon Raphael fights for his freedom. What's that supposed to mean? Well, I guess we'll find out. Who will emerge victorious this time? Yeah, that was a fun overview. Just explain what most of the characters are about, I guess.
X, Y, and Z. Not used. See note below. See note below.
Getting started. A game demonstration, a CG animated sequence, and a list of player rankings following VF2 title screen. Watch the demo or press start at any time to return to the title screen. Press again to bring the game up. To bring up the game menu. I guess hang out again. Basically telling you how to skip the CG sequence. The CG intro.
Yeah, just usual fighting game shit. Expert mode. Oh yeah. This is quite a unique mode to VF2. Expert mode, one player mode against the computer, which allows it to use all the tricks and patterns it's learned AI while watching you play. Use after you played with the learning option turned on. Hey, yeah, what that's about? Basically, VF2 has like a AI learning system where, depending on the character you choose, its AI can pick up on the patterns that you do in like arcade mode and I assume versus mode as well. But yeah, like notice how like in the expert mode, the AI is like dumb as rocks. No, you're supposed to like play the game in like other modes for the game system to pick up on your patterns. So like the AI in expert mode can could do those patterns. Okay, there it is, learning. When this feature is turned on, it allows the CPU to watch you play any character in any mode. Oh, any mode, okay. And devise the best strategies to counter your every move. Turn on or off. Yeah.
The PC version also has something where you can save your AI as a file, or save your fighting data as a file. But so far I haven't been able to work on my own laptop or my shitty machine, but other people have. Pretty cool system, yeah. This is not the last VF to mess with AI systems like that.
Oh yeah, VF2 and VF2 and 2.1. So basically, there's two versions of VF2. There's 2.0 and 2.1, and 2.1 basically gets rid of a lot of a couple of glitches, as well as some rebalancing, because 2.0, I think there's this but yeah, basically you get to choose between the more balanced version and the more broken version, I guess. I think that's another infamous thing, that Lao basically has a block string infinite. For a while, this one Lao player, I think it's Daimon Lao. If I'm wrong, please correct me, VF old heads. But so basically, he kept it a secret for nationals and shit. Keep that shit for nationals until one of the oldest Wolf players. I think he's streams Revo to this day. Bunbunmaru. Basically, he got past that bullshit. With the infinite block string, pushes you towards the edge of the ring, and then crouch dashes in the middle of it, and to do his giant swing on Lao. So yeah, that was pretty fucking sick, actually. Yeah, there's team battle mode, special Saturn mode. So you pit 2 teams of 5 fighters against each other. Group competition. Maybe this was the basis for all the team tournaments and VF's competitive history. Yeah, quick step dash. Oh yeah, this is when the throws are standardized to punch and guard at the same time. So thank God for that. Though there are still a lot of weird throws where it's like back punch when close enough, or like right left kick or whatnot when you're close and stuff like that. Okay, there we go again. The Virtua Fighters. Kuriyuki, Japanese, 1968, 26. Oh yeah, they're actually giving us ages. Kung Fu instructor, hobby, Kung Fu, techniques, Hakiokuken. Yeah. Yeah, they're finally giving us actual backstories. Already a legendary master in the art of Hakiokuken, Akira has spent the past year traveling and honing his skills to a razor edge. Although he didn't win the first tournament, he considered it a learning experience and eagerly anticipates trying out his new moves on all corners. On all comers, what the fuck? Yeah, just Akira just training until he gets stronger. That's the usual, the most basic fighting game shonen pro tag motivation. You know, just fighting for the sake of it. You know, just like he has that headband for a reason. Oh yeah, this is the introduction to Hogeki Unshin Sokosho. But most English speaking fans call it the stun palm of doom. Because you also gotta get really close to it. You gotta be really close to your opponent. Oh yeah, these are his reversals. If you don't know, like VF has like reversal moves depending on the character, which is standardized to like punch plus kick with a specific input. But in this one, you have to be guarding first. Kind of interesting when you look back at it. And I guess the way they made it now is more risky. Pai-chan, Hong Kong, age 19. I think it's the same birth year. Action star dancing as Seiken. Even though Pai is Lao's daughter, there is very little love between the two, while Lao pursuing his obsessive search for perfection. Pai's mother toiled so hard to support the family that she died of overwork. Jesus Christ, damn, alright. Pai never forgave Lao for her mother's death, and swore that she would someday beat Lao at his own game. Even though she didn't have what it took to defeat him in the last tournament, this time she's armed with a few new techniques that might have knocked out Lao out of the champion's position. And with Lao out of the way, the other fighters should fall like dominoes. Okay, goddamn, I knew that the mother was away, but I didn't think that she died of overwork. Alright. This is the original Kazuya Mishima, I guess. I think this might be the first game where she had that throw, where like she switches sides. I think that was like I think this is a game where she had that. Okay, there we go. Lao Chan, 90s, 1940. Yeah, we know 54. Occupation cook. Poetry, Kolken. Lao strives for perfection in anything he does, whether it's working as a famous chef in China or acquiring the title of the most powerful fighter in the world. Yeah, cooking and fighting, you know, gotta be the best at everything. Although declared a champion, Lao was far from satisfied with his performance, so after the first tournament, he headed for the mountains for an excruciating long-year regimen of training. He hopes that in the next tournament he'll be able to perform. He'll be able to perform up to his own exacting standards. And goddamn, like a great fighter, great cook, but a terrible father and husband. Goddamn. Yeah, I guess he's it doesn't really exactly spell out evil villain. Mustache twirling villain, but definitely an asshole for sure. Is this a game where it introduces double stomp? I mean, it definitely introduced a lot of his throws, which he'll have to this day. Oh yeah, it also introduced that dumb hop kick. Is that it? Yeah, it looks like that could be it. Or maybe this is it. I don't know. Yeah, not exactly a VF2 head either. Yeah, these are those. Yeah, I said punch plus guard was standardized for throws, but only just like the standard neutral throws. The directional throws, not really. Wolf Hawkfield, Canadian, 66, 28. Pro wrestler, karaoke, yeah, karaoke. I did not figure this guy to be. Yeah, I did not figure this guy to be a karaoke hobbyist. Wolf worked as a lumberjack until he was discovered by a scout and encouraged to take up pro wrestling. It wasn't long before he became invincible in the sport. He entered the world fighting tournament in order to find an opponent skilled enough to call a rival. It wasn't long before Akira gave him exactly what he was looking for, and the two set up a friendly but intense competition. And wrestling, kung fu, those are practically yin and yang. At the end of the first tournament, both swore they would battle again, but now that chance has arrived, and Wolf has his eye on the championship. Is this a game where crouch throws are a thing? Yeah, it's like I don't know if these were in VF1 at all. I guess that's my what I'm scratching my head about. God damn, he's almost 40. Jeffrey McWall, Australian. Reggae music, I guess that's why he basically looks like a Jamaican in all these games. Fisherman, yeah, this is oh yeah, this is the story. This is the one that laid out his iconic backstory. Jeffrey uses the prize money for his fighting tournaments to attain a fishing boat, his chief source of livelihood. All his life, he has sought one trophy above others: the legendary man-eating devil shark. The last battle was the most ferocious yet, but the shark escaped, leaving nothing of Jeffrey's belt but splinters. So Jeffrey polished up his fighting techniques and is stepping up into the ring again. If he wins this time, he could buy a new boat and get rid of his nemesis once and for all. Yeah, this is what I mean when VF was shaping up as a franchise and where all its roots were starting to really take shape. A fucking Satan shark. Yeah, I like to imagine all these are like directly translated from the Japanese. Hopefully, maybe. Kagemaru, Japanese, 1971. Oh, June 6th was his birthday. Holy snap. Age 24, ninja, mahjong. Why do you spell it like that? Hagekaru Ryu Jujutsu. Not much can be said about Kage's background, only that he is searching for the mysterious organization that murdered his father and kidnapped his mother. His search led him to the first tournament, which he entered in order to pick up clues. Although he made an impressive showing as a fighter, he was unable to bring the syndicate to fight. However, he did receive word that his mother might still be alive. He has stepped into the arena again in hope that once declared champion, he'll be able to find out more. Yeah, interesting that baby. Yeah, they're really shaping up this evil cartel known as Judgment 6. I guess five games in, I guess he still hasn't succeeded. No Izunop drop though. That's introduced in 3. Sarah Bryant, why am I doing the voice now? Yeah, Sarah. The babe of the series. Jeet Kune-do. Yeah, now they call it Jeet Kune-do. Skydiving. Is that why she has the flip as one of her main moves? Because of the skydiving thing? But yeah, kidnapped, brainwashed, and groomed for combat by an underground organization, Sarah Bryan was pitted against her brother in the first tournament. The organization had hoped to eliminate Jackie this way, but because they couldn't control Sarah completely, she failed to carry out her orders. She has spent the past year being reconditioned under a new set of teachers. By the time she stepped into the arena again, she will be the ultimate fighting machine.
Yeah, I guess that's why she's in that bodysuit in the first place. Yeah, because she got brainwashed and all that. I guess she's in her J6 uniform.
Oh fuck, double joint butt? Is that supposed to be the the punch knee combo? Why do they call it butt? Fuck. Jackie Bryant, 1970, 24. Yeah, this game released in 94 originally. IndyCar racer, Jeet Kune Do, training. You know, and fights by day, races cars by night, I guess. Or is it the other way around? I don't know. One fateful day, hotshot race driver and Jeet Kune Do master Jackie Bryant was separated from his sister Sarah when she was kidnapped by an underground syndicate. After years of searching, he learned that Sarah was being trained for combat and was considered tops in the art of Jeet Kune Do. When the first World Fighting Tournament was announced, Jackie took the challenge in hopes of fighting and rescuing Sarah from the syndicate, but once the winner was declared, Sarah vanished. Jackie spent the next year training for the ensuing bout that he knew would come. This time, he plans to win the championship and take Sarah back for sure.
Funny thing about his backstory here, I think like when Jackie loses, I don't know if to a specific character, but yeah, once he loses, he says something like,
"I'm just waiting for my sister."
This is truly the Dark Souls of fighting game lore.
Oh, his beat knuckle, yeah, that's an iconic move to Jackie. Fucking
just fucking hammered down on the dude. I think it has some it also has decent range for most of the games too.
And it introduced a lot of his throws as well. Okay, now for our new character, Shun-Di. Chinese, Shun-Di, that's his full name. Chinese. Born January 2nd, 1912. Damn, he's old. Age 82. Occupation, herbal doctor. Oh, he's a doctor. I didn't know about that. Hobby, collecting medicinal herbs. Technique, Drunken Kung Fu. He might be the first character to use drinking as a mechanic. You know, like you have your drinking meter and the more drinks you give, the more, basically the more powerful he becomes. He gains moves, some moves do more damage and whatnot. Damn near most of his moveset was ripped straight from some of the Jackie Chan Drunken Master movies, like both of them. So yeah, take that into consideration, you Jackie Chan heads. Under the guise of the hermit taking a shelter deep in the mountain of northern China, Shun spent his days instructing young students in several esoteric and deadly martial arts. One day, while drinking with two old friends, who happened to be the Grand Master of the arts of Hakyokuken and Hisoken. Fuck is Hisoken? Shun learned that his contemporaries had students who achieved high ranks in the previous World Fighting Tournament and were planning to return for the next. This sounded intriguing, and Shun decided to enter the tournament as well. His old friends tried their best to discourage him, but what could one old man do against such powerful young predators? Oh, there, okay. But Shun would not be turned away. It's time to show these youngsters a trick or two.
Interesting. I guess he was just a old martial arts master. Maybe one of those. Maybe that Hakyokuken master might have been a relative of Akira or something. I don't know. Still don't know what a Hisoken is. Yeah, but still, interesting. I guess he's a old dude that's seen some shit.
Yeah, we got his move list here. Okay, it does operate the same way. You know, like I said, he drinks a certain amount of times. He gains moves. Yeah, this might have been really useful to have a manual like this for a fighting game in general. Yeah, no one would be able to figure this shit out. Unless, like, there's, like, some move list around the arcade cabs or something. Actually, if any old head, you know, speaking of old people, you know, if any old head can, like, tell me, like, how they were able to figure out moves in, like, the arcade in the arcade days, yeah, just put it down in the comments below. You know, just give your experiences or whatever. Unless there's like an arcade flyer or something that just gives out all the moves. Arcades they're around when I was born and grew up, but like obviously they were like dying around the time, and I was never really near any arcade like at all. So yeah, here's our other new character. Yeah, Leon. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce his name. Leon Raffle. Oh, Raphael. I'm gonna just say Raphael, because why not? Leon Raphael, French, born in December 24th, 1979. Age 15, probably the youngest VF character ever. You know, unless we know Eileen's age or something, or whatever. Occupation, high school student. Hobby, skateboarding. Technique, Turrican. Yeah, Turrican is supposed to be, okay, yeah, it's based off a northern praying mantis style. And I'm pretty sure I saw like a couple moves like that, like, one of his moves, I think nowadays it's supposed to be like a 1K. That double kick move, that's actually a low. Yeah, I definitely know I saw something like that in like the Kenji manga. A wealthy and prominent French family, the Raphaels were known first and foremost for their success in aircraft research and development. But this business was only a front for an underground weapons trade. Leon Raphael grew up with the best education available. Had been groomed all his life to follow in his father's footsteps. But once he discovered his father was a death murderer, Leon wanted nothing to do at all with the family business. His father was giving him an ultimatum. If he wants out of the family legacy, he has to prove he can be successful enough in whatever he does to be worthy of the Raphael name. In other words, if Leon wins the World Fighting Tournament, his father will free him of all family obligations.
Fuck, Jesus, alright. Yeah, these weapons cartel mean business, I guess.
As far as I remember from the anime, in terms of the character interpretations and whatnot,
Akira definitely seems like the less, Akira definitely seems the most, surprising as far as, he's interpreted in the anime. I guess kind of the same with Jackie, but then again, he has one goal in mind, and that's to save his sister. And I definitely remember Jackie being angry all the time, especially when it comes to his sister. Pai-chan is kind of a brat, but I guess I can kind of expect that a little bit. Maybe she might be quicker to anger than I guess some of the games would imply. I guess that's sort of true to her backstory. Leon, probably not as much of a shithead, a little bit. Wolf, seems like how you expect it to be. Jeffrey was kind of funny in a way. He's like probably the most wise and like probably the most wise and like chill character in that anime. Lau is probably what you expect from an asshole dude. Yeah, Shundi as well. It's pretty much what you expect, but yeah, very I think the anime overall is kind of okay as far as fighting game adaptations go. It's like they definitely stayed true to the backstories in a way. And I definitely remember the first few episodes. They like shoved every anime trope that they could at you, like the more annoying ones. But it's like it kind of cools down. Well, when I say cool down, it's like turns more into an actual action show along the way. And that's pretty much what the entirety of season 2 is, really. Yeah, I recently watched season 2. It was pretty entertaining. Yeah, just like a solid action show, I guess. Not the best animation, but when they try, it's kind of cool. Yeah, the season 2 is pretty cool. It's like one of the main villains is like a childhood rival of Kagemaru, who got banished from his clan and went on and he's teaming up with a shadowy organization, basically following up in the footsteps of J6 and whatnot. Yeah, it's it's a pretty cool setup for an actual like VF story. You know, season 2 is pretty cool. It's if you hate the dub of the first one, then yeah, maybe this should be good enough for you. It never got dubbed, so.
Oh boy. In the option menu, you can choose between versions 2.0 and 2.1. Oh yeah, like I said before. Both have been released in arcades, faithfully reproduced by Sega. New attack levels have been added over. Oh, okay. Oh, it just gives us a whole patch list right here. Version 2.0. Unblocked PK combo causes characters to fall. Oh, so I guess a knockdown. No pauses when running. No pauses when running backwards. Player and CPU-controlled opponents of Shunde and Lion automatically track towards one scoot behind the opponent. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Like
Shun and Leon are the only characters with sidesteps in this game. Yeah, they're like it's like one of those weird things in 3D fighters where like only a select few characters have like sidesteps, like Kazuya and I want to say Lei Wulong in Tekken 2. Yeah, it's a weird shit like that.
Player 2 Lao floats higher when kicked and is slower getting up. Okay. Version 2.1 unblocked PK combo causes characters to stagger but not fall. Interesting. Pause introduced between steps when running away. Harder to attack, then run away until time runs out. Player CPU controllers do not automatically track Shun and Leon when they scuttle sideways around their opponents. Oh, okay. So basically, the opponent doesn't track
Leon and Shun automatically when they do their
sidestep thingy. Alright, okay, that was a fun manual.
And our boy Eric Rollins returns.
Virtual Testers. Oh, that's a pretty good name. Virtual Testers continued. Now Virtual Cop, you're a cop now. Putting your life on the line is your job. Staying alive is your challenge. Yeah, Virtual Cop, cool game. Never played it with a real light gun though.
Yeah, so I imagine having a manual like this was pretty much essential. I mean, pretty much like a lot of games around this time. Having a manual was essential, but sadly, you know, you never know. These things could get lost forever. You know, like, yeah, I miss manuals, but like we really don't need them anymore. we just don't. But still, like, I don't know. I like reading manuals. You know, they can just be a fun read overall.
Now, on to VF3. Alright, on to VF3. VF1-3tb. Now yeah, before using your Sega Dreamcast video system. Health and precautions and whatnot. Yeah, we've seen this shit before. Thank you for purchasing Virtua Fighter 3tb. Be sure to read this instruction manual thoroughly before you start playing Virtua Fighter TB.
Yeah, that's pretty much what manuals are. In a nutshell, they're basically to like ease you in before you start playing the game, trying to make you all excited. It definitely worked on me back in the day. Well, I say back in the day, but like that's like mid 2000s is the back of the day for me. Yeah, team battle mode. It's for those that don't know, I think 2 had the same, but I had no idea if it worked the same way. But team battle mode is basically your KOF mode. You know, where you got like one at a time on your team. You know, if your character loses, then the next one shows up. Versus team battle, you know, it's like you play team battle with a friend. Versus mode, training mode. It's you still don't have a move list in game, so yeah, a manual is pretty much essential. History, yeah, I think this is where like a lot of those Virtua Fighter behind the scenes documents came from. For Virtua Fighter History CD on the Dreamcast, if you beat like arcade mode, win or lose, I want to say they unlock the ending, quote unquote. Which is it basically looks like an intro, like a FMV intro that should be the intro of the game. It basically shows all the story of what we learned from VF2 so far. Yeah, like I said, a Dark Souls of fighting game lore. Yeah, options. What the fuck? I didn't know about this. Oh wow, they made arcade sticks for Dreamcast. I did not know this at all. I did not know this in the slightest until reading this. Cool. They made arcade sticks from Dreamcast, but I guess it makes sense. It's like a console full of arcade games and ports and whatnot. And oh yes, this is the game with the evade button. This is where dodges were more standardized, I guess. Well, dodges were a thing, but like, the only game you can probably argue is the first step of dodge was like Fatal Fury 3. And Soul Calibur had not Soul Calibur, Soul Edge had like a dodge roll, as well as like Battle Arena Toshinden as well. Yeah, VF3 was pretty much the first I guess perfected, I guess you can say. Yeah, I remember looking at some like VHS overviews of VF3. They got players like saying like, this Ibun, I guess I gotta train to get used to that. This could be interesting. Yeah, I don't think it's like the black sheep of this series, but it's definitely like the oddball of the series nonetheless. But I think it's a pretty cool game. I suck ass at it, but yeah, it's a pretty cool game, especially when you see like pros going at it. So it's probably like the closest VF gets to having like movement that rivals Tekken's really, as far as like seeing like everyone just like wig out all over the stage. It's a pretty entertaining game to look at as far as its competitive scene is concerned. This is another thing you can do with VF3 is to like the triggers like control like change camera position. I don't know why they did this. I don't know, they just thought, ooh, 3D looks so real, but first person, it's could be a fucking mess. Let me tell you.
Oh, this viewpoint only works in the one-player mode and training mode.
Oh yeah, understandable. For the moon jumps, you basically gotta press down and up like it's a Marvel game or something. Pretty much, you know, Street Fighter 3 does something like that as well. And the low dash, they were a thing in VF2 as well as VF3, but they were like way more stricter than how they're performed in later games. Yeah, follow-up attack, throwing. Yeah, this is where throwing is really standardized as a PG and all the motions that follow, you know, throughout the series and onward. Oh yeah, low throws were all 3 buttons on a crouching opponent. Alright, interesting. Oh yeah, the cool thing about the E button is that it basically acts as like a shortcut to like sidestepping and running as well. It's just a general movement button. Avoid being thrown. Oh yeah, this is where throw escapes make their debut. Well, throw escapes were a thing in VF2, but only for like the neutral throw, the PG. Sarah serving as always.
History, you can watch the classic Virtua Fighter movie. What does that mean? It's not a movie, it's just a documentary. Shit. Dash in direction of your character facing. Yeah, this makes like characters. Yeah, this is really useful for characters with back turned attacks. You just do that and you just hold the E button and just fucking run away. It's fucking awesome. Akira Yuki. Yeah, I guess no stats here. Oh yeah, I want to mention this.
There's this thing on a Sega Saturn called the Virtua Fighter CG Collection, or CG Portrait Series, where like they're basically slideshows with the music made for these. I don't know who's a female singer, but I know like the male singer for the male characters is like the Daytona guy. His name escapes me sadly. I think it's Tonobu. Editing Do Your Magic. He sings the songs for the male characters, and very weird. It's like how I described the Virtua Fighter 2 10 Stories manga thing. Sort of the similar deal here, where you just see characters doing their own things in their own lives. And there's also one for Dural, which I'm not gonna lie, I kind of love this one, because I don't know, Dural is not a character you expect to have any personality like at all. She's just like, she's just there having fun, really. And it also has like the best out of context image related to Virtua Fighter ever. Fucking Jackie at a bar. Oh man, I love this image so much. And weirdly enough, there's these animated music videos with like the same music from this portrait series. And for some reason, the art style and animation look a lot better than the anime as well. Like the actual anime series for some reason. Yeah, the way characters look there are pretty fucking great actually. Yeah, it's like one of those things that make you question, why couldn't the anime look like this? Yeah, they even like use some of the music for the anime as well. I guess they really want this to be like the soundtrack for Virtua Fighter. Yeah, like you even see some variations of Akira's theme. At least I remember hearing it in Season 2 and I think a little bit of 1. But I never really watched the sub version of 1. So maybe it's different in the dub.
I don't know. Comments, old heads, do your magic, please. So Akira Yuki, realizing he lacked experience from his failure to win the first fighting tournament. World fighting tournament, oops. Akira went through the rigorous training to prepare himself for the second world fighting tournament. Akira returned home with the second tournament trophy. Yet, as he is about to proclaim his victory, his grandfather told him, "Don't flatter yourself, you haven't mastered anything yet." In order to solve the question, what is true strength? Akira resolved to fight in the tournament once more.
So I guess Akira's gonna be on his Ryu homeless journey now.
In the eve of the third tournament, Akira is about to demonstrate his prowess. Are we ready to see what deadly powers Akira will unleash? Man, this move list is so shit. I'm guessing this is like key moves or whatever, but like, yeah, this is also the move that introduced the Dragon Lance combo, as Western fans call them. Yeah, basically his only real string for most of the games. And yeah, it can be pretty tough, but it becomes easier with practice. Hey, and this render was ripped straight from like the CG Portrait series. So yeah, the CG Portrait series is basically a tech demo to VF3's Model 3 technology or whatnot. Sarah was kidnapped by a mysterious organization while investigating her brother Jackie's racing incident. Oh, huh. Okay, interesting, because like they never really talk about an incident before this. Maybe the VF anime kind of has it in the earlier episode, maybe, I forget, but I definitely know Virtua Fighter 2 stories, 10 stories, sort of like displayed that. You know, you got Jackie looking kind of haggard, but you know, no worse for wear. He's still smiling and all that. This is kind of one of the most badass things for Virtua Fighter. Through hypnosis, she was reconditioned and sent to the World Fighting Tournament to eliminate Jackie. Unable to fulfill her task, Sarah was further trained by a mysterious organization to become a deadly fighting machine. It was during the second tournament that Jackie was finally able to rescue Sarah. She had total amnesia. Of course. Uncomfortable living with a brother she could no longer remember, Sarah went to New York to live alone. Through her Jitakundo practice, she began to recover fragments of her memory. One day, an invitation arrived at the third tournament. Will Sarah be able to recover her memory and finally return to her former life? Yeah, it's also from the CG Portrait series. I think all of these are. Yeah, this is like all the images here from the CG Portrait series is like. This was like Sarah in a dress, a sundress. You know, it's Sarah. She's serving. And, you know, she's the character that serves the most in VF. Double joint bump. What the fuck is that supposed to mean? It's just like a elbow then a knee. Where's the butt come from? Oh yeah, this image is also from the CG Portrait series. In 1990, Jackie was involved in a car crash. Oh, okay, so I guess this, yeah, this sort of just adds to the backstory of Jackie that wasn't there previously. His sister, Sarah, was kidnapped while investigating the accident. When she recovered, Jackie went off to search for Sarah and discovered that she would be in the first World Fighting Tournament. Jackie entered to get revenge against the organization and to rescue Sarah. But he failed. More determined than ever, Jackie trained for 1 year to improve his skills and become a Jeet Kune Do instructor. He became an instructor. Huh. I guess he's a martial arts teacher as well now. And he got 2 jobs now. In the second tournament, Jackie finally managed to save Sarah, but unable to remember anything, Sarah decided to go and live in New York alone. Well, they just let her go. One day, Sarah suddenly phoned him and asked him to take part of the tournament, the third tournament, in order to protect Sarah and the organization to hopefully help her regain her memory. Jackie finally decided to take part once more. These are not. Yeah, this is not his whole moveset. Yeah, and I guess this is like a way down. I guess this is a way below down. Oh yeah, the switch step. Jackie can change stances. This is where that started. But like not a stance, but like kind of like he just like switches sides basically from orthodox to. I think only his punch kick combo
is affected by the stance switch. Probably throughout the whole series, really. That's like the only one affected
by the switch. Leon Raphael. Raphael. Raffle. Should I say Raffle? I don't know, I like the sound of Raphael more. I mean, it kind of has the same letters that Raphael will be spelled in. I don't know. Raffle sounds lame. In the second World Fighting Tournament, Leon was knocked out in the first bout. Goddamn, fuck your freedom then. But in that bout, he discovered within himself a hidden fighting spirit. Okay. With a new brand focus, Leon became totally absorbed in his training as he sought to improve himself.
Okay, it went from like fighting for his life and his freedom to just fighting for fun, as you do.
A year and several months passed when when an invitation finally arrived to the third fighting tournament. In order to redeem himself and evaluate his new skills, Leon entered the tournament. This time he will do better. Yeah, look at this fucking dorky goofball. Yeah, the rich kid who was
didn't want nothing to do with his family's legacy, and he's just, I don't think he agreed to be part of the raffle legacy, being arms dealers and whatnot in the black market or whatever. He wants to fight for fun
on the side, I guess. Yeah, character development, I guess. But yeah, like even though they're sidestepping in this game, Leon can still do his sidestep moves from VF2. So I mean, he can still do that to this day. So it's whatever. Pi left the second world tournament in defeat by her father. Damn, I'll just straight up beat her. During the fight, Pi began to question herself. Why would my father forsake his family for his martial arts training? She came to the realization that perhaps by understanding him, she could finally defeat him. Pi continued to travel to various locations around the world, working on her world-spanning fighting film. Then one year, several months later, an invitation to the World Fighting Tournament arrived. Seeing Lao's name as one of the competitors, Pao once more enters the tournament to defeat her father.
Okay, funnily enough, gonna reference supplementary material again, VF2 10 Stories, it was basically her on, the movie set, doing her things, and, she basically, beats up one of the actors real badly, but then, and the same thing also happens in, the Fighters Megamix guidebook, Megabooks, I think it's called, where they have little comics per character, even the secret ones, where Pi is just beating up she's just beating up an actor for real, and she's maybe he should have dodged better. Maybe that's why I think her being a brat in the anime kind of fits. I don't know.
Look at him free falling there. Yes, Mercenary Tal himself, or Mr. Eagle Claw Fist Man. As soon as the second fighting game tournament, as soon as the second fighting tournament ended, Lao heard that his Chinese restaurant business was in trouble. Oh yeah, he's a chef. Lao spent the next year working as head chef whilst in the same time continuing his martial arts training. Then he heard that the World Fighting Tournament was about to start. Naturally, he decided to take part, become the champion of the first tournament. So he left the managing of his kitchen to the best apprentice and set out to his travel preparations. Some say they actually saw Lao smile as he left.
Damn, I guess he's I don't know. I've seen him smile before. This isn't news to me.
Those 1996 CG muscles. It's a shit brick house. Or brick shit house. Fuck. Oops. The only reason Wolf took part of the second world tournament was to fight Akira. Unfortunately, he was still beaten, although by the smallest of margins. He returned to his reserve and continued to train, with nature as his opponent. Was he just fighting trees or something? Fighting leaves? A year or some months after the tournament, Wolf had a dream. He dreamed that the world was about to be destroyed, and only one person could save it. When he told the shaman of the settlement about his dream, he was told, "Follow your dream. This is something you cannot ignore."
I just like that this, basically this random, like, Canadian native guy was picked up by, like, a wrestling organization. Yeah, because of his ability to be a wrestler. He just does it anyway. Yeah, and it was so weird seeing it, like, the native, the native aspects, return here.
Yeah. This is also the game where he has like a cowboy costume for some reason. A few days later, an invitation to the World Fighting Tournament arrived. Wolf decided to participate. Is there some connection with his dream and the tournament? Oh my god, fucking Fighting Vipers did this shit as well. They call like a Sobot, this kick usually seen in like various martial arts as Sawbot. I don't know if this is like a joke or like they really don't know what a Sobot is. Or maybe it's like some weird mistranslation thing. I don't know. Oh yeah, I guess this is where his catchphrase come from. Interesting. Yeah, I don't play grapplers and fighting games. Sorry. I'm one of those guys. I'm one of those one of those seasoned grappler haters. Jeffrey McWild. Yeah, look at him. I didn't know he serves as well. In order to build a boat to catch the Satan shark measured with more than 6 meters of length, Jeffrey took part of the second world fighting tournament. Oops. His only motivation was the money that all the participants were sure to receive. This sum was less than previous years. Damn. Man, alright. But Jeffrey began to build his boat as had originally planned. About a year later, his dream boat is still far from completion. Jeffrey had run out of money. He was sick with worry over how to handle the money problem when the invitation of the Third World Fighting Tournament arrived. The timing was perfect, part of the tournament once more. This is just Jeffrey chillin'.
Was this a game to introduce like the toe kick splash mountain? Was it this or 2? I don't really play Jeffrey like at all.
Kagemaru. Yeah, this is kind of hard to see with the scan here. But yeah, this is also from the CG Portrait series. What's it?
Kurutagami, I think it's called. The
ball and sickle thingy. Yeah, fucking ninja ass. Yeah, fucking Ninja Gaiden ass looking dude. Oh yeah, it's him without the mask too. Damn. Yeah, I would love to see this in higher resolution. He's got like a ponytail. It's part of his second costume, but
for some reason he has like he's wearing chainmail on his ninja chainmail on his top half, but the bottom half is like I don't know what this is, church shoes. Are those church shoes or business shoes? And like the shiny chrome pants, fans call it the disco pants. I don't know why this costume looks the way it does.
Kagemaru. Kage took part of the second world fighting tournament to rescue his mother, Tsukikage, from the mysterious organization's evil clutches. Yeah, it's always I think it's always theorized, well, not theorized at this point, given the
ending, quote unquote, that Kage's mom is straight up Doral in this game. I think the thing is, like, there are a bunch of Dorals, but like a different Doral could be like a different person or maybe it's like a machine. It was never exactly clear. But all you need to know is there are like a billion bunch of Durals being made by this evil organization making. I guess someone has a thing for like bald chrome ladies.
He was beaten in the semi-final, but was finally able to whisk his mother off to freedom. Soon after returning to the secret mountain village, Kage was able to continue his former peaceful life.
Only ending in a franchise's main.
This is my main. You know, he's just cool. Anyone that calls him generic and corny, just slap him in the face. Kage discovered that his mother's condition had become affected by an imperfection of the Doral prototype skeleton model. Oh, shows a prototype. Oh, okay. Kage's only recourse is to defeat and capture the new VF. Oh yeah, his reversals are more standardized as well. Yeah, Shunny. Shun-Di. During the second World Fighting Tournament, Shun thought that he saw one of his beloved disciples, a man he himself had raised. After the tournament, Shun desperately searched for the tournament arena, but ultimately couldn't find him. A year and some months later, Shun received an invitation to attend the World Fighting Tournament. He was a guest to see that his pupil was listed as one of the championship sponsors. Shun could not understand, so he decided to take.
You see what you get. An old dude that's really good at jumping kung fu. Not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. You know, we at least gotta have one of those old masters. Cause why not? You know, just gotta give a little something to everyone.
Wait, is that the slide punch move? Yeah, I fucking hate that move. Well, more specifically, I hate it when it's used against me.
Oh yeah, our new character, Aoi Umeno Koji. Yeah, she's our, basically our Aikido, even though her style is really, Aki Jujitsu, which is like, basically, in older martial arts that split into Aikido and Judo, Jujitsu, sorry. Yeah, an interesting history to that martial art. Though we don't really have, like the facts here to like say when she was born or how old she was or what her occupation is. I think she was like a high school student.
The eldest daughter of an old established renowned Kyoto family dojo, Aoi has had Aikido and Judo drummed into her since her childhood. Damn. Since her father and Akira's father were old friends, Aoi and Akira often trained together as children.
Not gonna lie, it's like I feel like out of all the characters in old graphics, like in this franchise, I feel like Aoi's had like aged the worst in her debut. That hair though.
Aoi's father learned of the World Fighting Tournament through Akira. Once Aoi learned about the tournament and Akira's participation, she became very interested in entering. In order to gauge her own skills and abilities, Aoi's challenge is about to start.
I guess she's just a martial arts brat, I guess. I just made up a new term. Do you like it? Martial arts brat? Yeah, I guess Akira's dad is friends with all sorts of martial arts masters. I wonder what happened to him, you know, since all Akira has left is his grandfather, apparently. Taka Arashi. Yeah, he's another new character in VF3. But not for long. Oh boy, wait until we get to the next game. I think Aoi and Taka were introduced because I think there was some complaint that there weren't enough Japanese martial arts represented. It's only something I've heard, but I never really confirmed 100%. But yeah, VF old heads, you know what to do.
In the sumo world, Taka Arashi is well known for his brutal style. One day, while in an American bar, Taka Arashi was provoked into proving his worth. After sounding defeat, After soundly defeating the man who provoked him, Taka Arashi came back to Japan. Once there, Taka Arashi told his stable master about the incident and then retired from sumo. I guess he's just feeling remorseful. Man, look at this chunky ass boy. One day, as Taka Arashi was practicing sumo in a mountain village, an invitation of the Third World Fighting Tournament arrived. Seeing the invitation, he felt a rush of excitement. Taka Arashi envisioned being able to show the world the power of sumo wrestling, and to stretch himself to his limits. His blood boiling, he decides to join the fray. Okay, cool. Is
basically, I guess, a very short-tempered sumo wrestler went back to Japan to basically retire from sumo, I guess. So now he's just doing whatever. Interesting. You know, just got a straight up violent dude, and unethically violent, I should say. Oh yeah, well that's it. Oops, yeah, that's all the characters, and but don't worry about that Dynamite Cop. Probably one of the oddball games of this series with its you know, the way its dodge system is handled, and not to mention all the non-linear or non-flat stages. You know, the way those work out for better or worse depending on who you ask. But still, it's a fun game to watch, I feel.